AFTV, Turkish, you weren't actually at the game today, but I know you went to the protests before. What was it like?
It was decent. I mean, the numbers weren't what I expected. The numbers weren't what they was a couple of weeks ago.
It's horrible weather today, wasn't it? A couple of weeks ago, it was such a hot day, sunny.
Yeah.
Today, when I was driving down, I was thinking, oh, that's going to affect that because the rain was chucking it down, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it is, in a sense, a lot of people I talked to there, they was demoralised by the turnout. But at the same time, I'd ask them not to be. I think I respect every single one that came out today. I spoke to people who came down from Wales, Scotland, Hastings, Eastbourne, all over the gaff. So regardless of the numbers, I think it's a few hundred, 200-300 maybe. People still made an effort today. And
Josh Kroenke was actually at the game.
I wish we had known.
I said to somebody, I was saying to some of the guys earlier, it reminded me a little bit of like when Trump flies over to like Afghanistan or Syria. They just have hush radio silence, and he just pops up, and then you get all the Taliban. And go, well, he's here. If we'd have known he was coming, what I mean? It's a bit like that, So, but he was actually in the ground. Do you reckon he might have seen some of that? And do you think he's getting the message?
He's not getting the message. They know the message. They know we want them gone. They know this, Rob, And the way they reacted to the egg bid saying, we don't need the money shows that they're digging their heels in. The fact they didn't, let it be known that he's going to be here, and maybe people will say, why should they? That's fair enough. But all that was today is image. It's just the image that, listen, it's been a turbulent season. We've gone downhill yet again. We are not in Europe anymore. We've got knocked out of the Europa League by our ex-manager. Let me show my face and act like I'm changing my ways. That's all that today was, image.
There might be some fans, though, who look on it and say, okay. And I think there will be fans who look on it and say, okay, he's there. He means business this summer.
Fans are fickle, Rob, And the turnout today, as much as we can say weather and whatnot, it was still not good enough compared to what it was a couple of weeks ago, regardless of weather. I'm not dressed for the rain, but I was still there, because I care, because I think it's the right thing to do, because I think it's the right time to do it, But what it showed me is that we just don't have enough energy behind this movement yet. And I look at Man United fans and I ask myself, why are they angrier than us? Why are Man United fans angrier than Arsenal fans? They haven't won the league for 8 years. We haven't won it for 15. They've been in turmoil for 8 years. We've been in turmoil for 15. They're second in the league. We're 8th. But their fans are angrier than us? It doesn't make sense.
You think our fans are a bit defeated?
I question the balls of some fans. I question the heart of some fans. I question the mind of some fans. Because at the end of the day, this was the last game of the season, and I think a bigger message could have been sent. I give credit to everyone there, I'll reiterate that, but a bigger message could have been sent. It also highlights to me that I think there's other ways that we need to protest.
Which are?
Which are things like, going into next season, it looks like we're going to have Kroenke, we're going to have Arteta. Let's not blindly go into next season like it's going to change. If I ask you now, what do you expect from next season? You'll probably say...
8th.
Well, yeah, tongue-in-cheek, but...
No, I'm not. That's not tongue-in-cheek. If we don't, in the summer, do the right things that we have, for the last couple of seasons, have been calling for, it will be another 8th or worse.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. The league don't lie. To go finishing 8th 2 seasons in a row shows us that we're the 8th best team in the country.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
The table doesn't lie.
That's not good enough. And, we used to moan about top 4, quite rightly so, because we challenged for leagues. Now we're, there were some guys there earlier, we missed out on the Conference League. I mean, come on, man, you know what I mean? This is where we're at right now. So when I say 8th, I'm not saying that. I mean that.
No, listen.
I mean that. And if the right things are not done in this summer, which is a clear out is needed, but it's not just that. I'm just not sure if the right people are in control of that clear out as well, right?
They're not.
I don't know, man. I'm a bit worried at the moment. I mean, let me see what happens. But
they've done worse with better, and I mean that by look how long we was in top 4. They didn't build on that. We was in the Europa League for a few seasons. We didn't build on that. Now we're not in anything. So what do I expect from them now? They haven't been shrewd when we had something about us, But
it
right
could be
now,
though, and there's a few people saying this. It could be now that they're forced into action. It's this 8th to me 2 seasons in a row. 8th this season with no title, no, and then on top of that, you've lost millions in the pandemic. It's rock bottom now. It's almost, for a big club, it's almost like you're near relegated, right? It's rock bottom. They have to respond. If they don't respond this summer, they'll never respond ever.
Yeah, but that's facts. This summer, either they sell or they respond. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do nothing, Rob. Let's not act like that would be a surprise, because it wouldn't. Because you just said you'd expect 8th if they did nothing. I'd be surprised if they did something this summer. Regardless of the pressure they're under, we're in the worst predicament right now. They talked about 2 years ago a Champions League wage bill and a Europa League budget. We're not in Europa League no more, Rob. So what is it now? If that was the reality 2 years ago, pre-73 million Pepe, pre-finishing out of the top 6, what is the reality finishing 8th twice, a star signing coming in 2 years in a row in Pepe and Partey, no fans in the stadium for a year and a half, you've just repaid back a loan with another loan? Where is this going to come from all of a sudden? Unless they're going to go out there and, like I said to Julian earlier, manipulate the market. Because FFP or no FFP, I don't know what's going on with it, but what happens if you break FFP? You get banned from Europe. We're not in Europe. Go and fucking break everything you can break. Manipulate the market like other clubs do.
But he doesn't have a history. And that's what I'm saying, is we have to see something different this season, because he doesn't have a history of putting his hand in his pocket. Because in doing some studying, I found out that he only West Brom have spent less when it comes to actually putting when I say less, when it comes to actually personal spending.
Owner investment, yeah.
The owner saying, right, I'm going to spend my money on this. Only West Brom have spent less of all the clubs in the Premier League, including Brighton, who we played today. So it doesn't bode well for this summer, because, unless we can sell a load of players, and I reckon it was probably, that's what it's going to be. You'll see Joe Willock go out. You'll see these players go. Should we be getting rid of Joe Willock? If he's gone, I know people might argue and say, well, maybe he's not good enough still. We still need better. But when are we going to start building upon players as well? Because that's a young guy of 21 who scored 7 in 7 when he's been given the chance to play. He's been given his head, yeah? Should we really be getting rid of a player like that? We should really be building upon keeping that player and getting players to compete with him, so that he has to shine and whoever comes in has to shine, or they've done, competition for places in every position.
Well, we're in a predicament now where, that's some of our only assets. 2 years ago when Wenger left, we had no assets.
And that's what I'm saying. And now those assets, I'm worried about those assets just being sold off.
Yeah, well, Willock's one thing, Saka, Martinelli, Smith-Rowe in a few is another thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to make ruthless decisions. But like you said, who do you trust here to make them? Vinay, Edu? Let's talk about Arteta for a sec. That guy's finished. Regarding next season, let's just scrunch it up and throw it in the bin. Because I guarantee you now, we're going to have the same season next season. We're not going to be happy with it come May. Because we have a manager here telling us to forget the takeover bid. He's fully in bed with Kroenke now. We've got a manager telling us...
He's an employee, isn't it?
Employee or not, you can just stay out of it. You don't have to, double down on your support. We know you've supported them since the start because you said they back you.
Hold on. The one thing I'd say with that, right, is that I think with fans have got to understand, that probably he's looking at it and he's calculated that if the Daniel Ek did come in, he'd be gone. Yeah. Right, after the season he's just had.
Yeah.
So if I was in his position, I'd be saying, forget the Kroenke, they're here as well. They've just kept him in a job after he's finished 8th in the league for Arsenal.
Yeah, but you know what that means? It means that he ain't the right man for the job. If that's his mentality, he ain't the right man for the job. He should stay out of these affairs at the moment, because this is personal between us fans and Kroenke. It's personal. Wenger fell by their sword. Arteta is nobody to Wenger. So Arteta can go too, but because he's going to be manager next year, he'll probably get sacked in November, December, halfway through another poor season. We'll try to change it up. Come the end of the season, us fans will be like, well, we just had a new manager for 6 months. Let's see what happens in the summer. Play, rewind, stop, play, rewind, stop. It just keeps on happening over again. That's why I feel like let's build again on the protest today, next season, because that's the only chance we have. But we need to think about other ways that we can try and, get our hands back on the club in one way, shape or form.
So you won't stop protesting?
Nah, first game of the season we should be out there. Forget Arteta and forget Kroenke and these, man. Nothing will change in the season if we keep giving them the benefit of doubt and chance blindly, being positive and hopeful. Nothing will change. Let's listen. I've been angry at the start of the last 3, 4, 5 years, maybe more. I've gone into the season angry because I know that we're not going to achieve what I really want and what we should achieve. Not should of what we've done in the window, but should as Arsenal Football Club. I'm yet to see a season to start where I'm happy and actually thinking we can do something. That's not going to happen this summer, and that's not going to happen with these owners.